So a little while ago, I shot a sequence here on the channel in a video talking about frame rates. And in that sequence, I used this lens, nothing else. This is the Canon 24-105 f4 L series lens. I absolutely love this lens. I think it is pretty much one of the best purchases you can make if you are a full frame Canon shooter. I'm gonna go ahead and roll that sequence again now, just in case some of you didn't see it, but here it is, shot on the 24-105.
Feeling like a champion, I can't sleep no ambient. Feeling every beat I'm landing on, to infinity and beyond. This ain't like I work for this, I'ma show y'all what urgent is. Never been way more certain, man, ain't nobody more deserving, man. Make way for Canon! Undisputed, undisputed, undisputed. I'm on my John Jones, I'm on my John Jones, I'm on my John Jones, I'm on my
So the Canon 24-105 f4. This is a pretty incredible zoom lens from Canon. It is one of their L series lens, which means it tends to be a little bit more expensive, but it packs a serious quality punch. It is exceptionally sharp. I've been using this now for a while for shooting photos and for videos, and I do think it is one of the best purchases that you can make as a Canon shooter. If I could only have one lens on my Canon systems, the Canon C200, the EOS R that I have down here, it would actually be this lens. And there's a few reasons for that, and I want to discuss briefly those in this video. So first of all is the image quality. I think the image quality of the 24-105 is absolutely fantastic. You would expect that from an L series lens. It's fantastic sharpness, it's got really nice character, and it's really nice and sharp throughout that zoom range. The zoom range is also extremely notable because if you shoot a lot of run and gun stuff, this zoom range, 24 to wide to 105 at the upper end of that scale. That means you are getting a ton of versatility just from this one single lens. You can do nice, beautiful wide shots, but then you can zoom right in and get nice compressed zooms as well. It does basically mean that almost everything you're going to be able to want to shoot, you can shoot on the 24-105, and then really the only thing you're missing is like a telephoto for super far away stuff. But again, you could shoot an entire documentary, entire, brand film just on this lens. Another reason I've been loving this lens personally is that I shoot a lot of stuff handheld. I shoot on a Canon C200, which doesn't have any stabilization features, so I tend to just rig that camera up, have it a relatively heavy setup, and then the 24-105 actually has image stabilization built in. And that means that, for instance, that sequence that I showed you earlier, that was entirely handheld, no form of stabilization, and you really aren't getting very many sort of micro jitters in the footage. Everything's pretty smooth, which is just extremely useful, again, for sort of run and gun, more guerrilla and independent filmmaking. And the other real impressive thing, and really the overall reason why I think this is such a great lens to pick up if you are a Canon shooter, is the price. I got this for about £450 here in the UK. I did pick it up used, but you can get some fantastic deals and fantastic prices on the 24-105. It is pretty much one of the cheapest L lenses that you can get, and yeah, just because of that zoom range, I think it's extremely versatile and extremely affordable. So it's definitely going to be my go-to lens for when people ask, what lens should I buy? This is probably the right answer. So like everything though, it is not entirely perfect, and I do wish personally that the aperture was a little bit lower. I think because of the zoom range, that 24-105, they probably can't drop it down to an f2.8. This is an f4, which means it does suffer a little bit in low light situations. Because of that f4, you can't quite get that extra stop of light available. And the only other thing is that if you're wanting nice, silky, shallow depth of field, lots of blur in the background of your images, this is an f4, so you're not going to be able to get quite as much depth or shallow depth of field in your images. What I will say though, you still can achieve really nice depth of field by shooting at those higher focal ranges. Things like 105, you're really going to see a lot of blur in your image. So it's definitely not entirely restrictive, but for instance, you're going to see a lot less blur than, for instance, if I shot this shot on a 50mm f1.8. This is down at f1.8. If I put this lens at 50mm and shot this at f4, this background would look quite substantially different. But that's kind of it, guys. There's just some overall thoughts and feelings about this lens. If you are a Canon shooter and you want it almost like a one and done lens, I would absolutely check this out. Really is one of the best purchases that I've made for my camera bag recently. And that's that, guys. Hope you have enjoyed watching, and I'll catch you next time.